You ever go out and mow the lawn and you hit a stump or a stick or a rock or a berm of dirt and you hit it so hard that it just makes the lawnmower quit, and then after that you go to pull it and it won't start? So then you take your lawnmower in, you pay the guy $150 and he goes through it and he gives it back and it runs like a champ. Well, you ever wonder, what did he do? What did he fix? Well, let me show you. The tools that you're going to need a 3/8 socket, you're going to need a Phillips screwdriver, you're going to need a 5/16 inch socket, a little bit of patience, and you're going to need an impact gun with a 24 millimeter socket, or your buddy, you have to give him a couple of drinks or something to hold the lawnmower blade while you crank this bolt loose. Impact's the way to go if you can. Even an electric one will work. So here's what you do. First things first, you pull the two screws that hold the cover on, and then pull the one for the side cover. You'll have to excuse my speech. It's been a long day. I always get these opportunities, you know, after I'm tired and don't feel like it, but I don't know, I just figure better do it while you can. So you pull that cover off, and then you're down to this. When you get to this point, this is the gas tank, and it's going to need to come off. You have a fastener here, here, and here. Use your little sockets, 5/16 to get that. And then there's another one on this side that's 3/8. It's a little bit bigger, and it's tucked right up. Can you see that right there? It's tucked right up in there underneath. That's going to kind of throw you off if you don't know where to look for it. So you pull this and you just lay it to the side. You can leave your fuel line and everything attached if you want to make good time, or you can spill gas everywhere and make a mess. It's up to you. It's alright, I'm not going to judge you. Next thing you do, pull a couple of bolts on the front here. They're going to be size 3/8, and then there's going to be some back here. Another 5/16 on the oil dipstick. What I like to do with this, it's got a little foot that goes down in that hole, is I'll pull that up out of the hole and then twist. The whole time I keep it inserted in the engine. See that right there? That keeps the dirt and the grass and crud out of it. Next, you're going to want to pull a couple more fasteners. They're on the back side. There's one here and one here. And then you pull this up and off. And then here is your flywheel. Now what happens is you're mowing the lawn, the blade will strike, you know, whatever you hit. Hopefully it didn't hurt anybody or anything too bad. But what happens is, this is the flywheel that keeps the engine having rotational or angular what do you call it? Velocity, inertia, angular inertia. That's a mouthful for me. So anyway, here's that 24 millimeter nut. You pull that off. You pull off the interface for the pull start. This is what the pull start engages in, and set that aside. And here's what happens. When that blade stops, the shaft stops instantly, and then this keeps rotating this way. And when you look right here, you see that cotter pin right there? Here's the keyway, the key slot for it, but the cotter pin is actually over here. Can you see the difference there? You've got a cotter pin clear over here, or a Woodruff key, and then the shaft where it should be is over here. So now your timing's off. When your timing and your spark are off, it'll never start. It'll just basically, you'll pull it, and it'll just be like, I'm not even in the mood. Tell you what, you better pull out the hammock and a lemonade early, because I'm not up for any of this. It's not going to want to go. So anyway, the thing to do is you have to have a puller. You've got these things that are threaded on each side, and then your shaft here. Especially with this wedged in there, it's not going to want to come off very easily. You are going to have to use a puller. You can get one for about $10 at Harbor Freight Tools, or order one online. It'll be something like this. See there? 10 bucks. And what you're going to do is, maybe I should just set the camera down. What do you think? I really hate editing, so. But basically what you do is you pick a couple of these bolts that are going to fit in that hole, and you put this on the center, and you're going to drive through here and see how it's got set up for either 3 or 2. You're going to want to use the 2-way. Try a couple of bolts and see what it is. It should be M6 by 1, but it's not. But it's going to be your little tiny ones like this. And you're like, well, that's all fine and great, I get this off, but where in the world am I going to find a Woodruff key? You can get one at the lawn and garden store. They'll oftentimes have them, or you can get them at AutoZone. There's a number of places, and if these bolts don't work, you can try something else and find one that does. But basically, once you get the bolt started in there, then you take this one, take the pointy end for this, and you have them nice and secure in there, and then you just tighten this until it starts to pull it off, and it'll basically just pull it straight up and off. Once you have that going on, then you're good to go. Then you just get your new Woodruff key and put it in and reinstall, and the nut will drive it down. Remember the nut and the impact gun that we talked about? You just tighten that down on there and you'll be good to go. And that's how you fix a wall. That's how you fix a lawnmower when it's struck an obstacle and sheared your Woodruff key. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, I got a lot of videos like this. Just click subscribe, and then they'll pop up when you go onto your YouTube channel or you're on your thing, and you can learn more fun stuff like this. You can also click down, add to down arrow favorites. It'll make it really easy for you to find, if you're going to a buddy's house or if you're going to refer to it later. Click thumbs up if you like it. Thanks, appreciate you watching. Bonus video portion. Basically, I went to tap this and it wouldn't tap, or not tap, I went to put the bolts in and it wouldn't go in because they're not tapped. You can see that this one it's got threads, but that's only because I just did it. In a way, this is kind of an advantage, because instead of being some hokey, obnoxious, obscure SAE thread, I can use something metric. Yay! It's going to make somebody upset. So like, these are metric. But yeah, there was no threads. So you whip out your tap set, pick a tap that's going to fit it, get something that's kind of close to the holes that they drilled. Get a little cutting oil or WD-40 if you're in a pinch, and you lubricate your holes and you just tap it, and then you can use your puller. And I thought that I was just not able to find the right bolt. I'm like, man, there's no other bolt sizes. Get a flashlight, clean it out with compressed air, no threads. So this way you can pick whatever you want, as long as you have a tap and die set. If you're gonna break once to edit, you might as well go all out. Here comes some more. Here's your puller all hooked up and going, and I had to bang on this and soak it and all that because of that key being sheared. It didn't want to come out. That's how the puller works. And if that looks easy, that's because I staged it. Oh yeah. So anyway, pull this off, I'll give you a look at that Woodruff key. So you can see the Woodruff key, it's sheared off in there. This thing's still fighting. I mean, this thing's like some prize catfish or something. It is just not giving up. But here's what your Woodruff key looks like when you've had it sheared. Go out in the light, it's gotten dark since I've been doing this. But see the way that it's just sheared off, but it's still kind of together? It's a little Briggs and Stratton symbol on it. So now I'll need to go and round one of these up, but that's why it's not running. That's all it takes.